Stansbury Barnum was born in New York on September 5, 1823. He attended Yale College in the late 1840s, and by 1860, Stansbury was a practicing doctor in New Fairfield, Connecticut. It was here in New Fairfield that he enlisted as a corporal in Company A of the 11th Connecticut Infantry on September 16, 1861. Stansbury went on to fight with the 11th in the battles of Roanoke Island, Newbern, and South Mountain. But the worst was yet to come. On the morning of September 17, 1862, Sergeant Barnum and the men of the 11th found themselves near Sharpsburg, Maryland, advancing in a skirmish line towards the lower bridge, straddling Antietam Creek. And once its banks were reached, the 11th Connecticut met an almost constant barrage of cannon and rifle fire from the other side. Crossing those placid waters turned into a bloodbath, and during the intense fighting that followed, the regiment lost 139 men, including their colonel. Antietam Creek, Maryland, October 1st, 1862. Friend Isaac, I received yours of the 23rd last evening. I had about considered myself dropped. If so, I should have taken it like everything else, cool and quiet. But gladly I see I am not forgotten yet. Here I am, safe and sound through these terrible ordeals, thank God. Oh, the long weary marches, sufferings and privations that we have endured. The running fights that we have had for 7 consecutive days until we drove the cursed rebels out of Maryland and across the Potomac. I cannot describe to you upon paper. I will come down one of these days, when I will tell you all my experiences, and all the particulars of a soldier's life. I am relieved from duty. I am coming home in the course of a month or so. In the terrible battle of Wednesday, our regiment was very badly cut up. We lost our colonel, lieutenant colonel badly wounded, and also the major, so you see we had no field officers. When we lay down to rest, we had used up all our ammunition. When an aide came up and ordered us to charge again for the 3rd time that day and take a very destructive battery, we did. This was just before sunset. Men fell like grass before the scythe, but we took it. But a fearful loss. We had a splendid regiment and swell officers. Now we have about 200 men, and a lieutenant made captain at the Battle of Newbern commanding the battalion or regiment. We lay about 2 miles from the battlefield at the mouth of the creek, upon the banks, woods, and hills of which the Rebs were so strongly entrenched. Our regiment opened the game that day, and our company was thrown out as skirmishers about 40 paces in front of the regiment, and drove their pickets into their stronghold where they were well covered. Our captain was shot very early by sharpshooters. When he immediately fell, the 2nd platoon was under his command and commenced firing by platoons. They shot over us. The regiments as they filed past us drew the fire of that brigade of sharpshooters, so we escaped quite well. Only 2 of my men were hit, and only lightly in the hand, one a sergeant like me and next in rank. We lay in camp resting and recuperating. I assure you we need it. Much. I can't write very plain. My nerves are not steady enough since the terrible excitement. This will let you know that I am as well as can be expected, and think of you often. I should enjoy one of my old-fashioned visits down among you much. Perhaps I may this fall or winter. Remember me kindly to all. S.L. Barnum. What came to be known as the Battle of Antietam ended in victory for the Union, but it cost them roughly 12,400 killed, missing, and wounded young men. Stansbury Barnum was one of them. He was discharged from the Army on October 6 for disability, and returned home to New Fairfield, Connecticut. In 1865, Stansbury married Phoebe J. Wright, and together they raised 3 children on their Newcastle, New York farm. Stansbury Barnum passed away on March 25, 1876.